Offering new customers a deposit bonus up to $1,000 in free credits.
For new customers, all you got to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Sign up using code SMOKE, then make a deposit in order to be eligible to receive a deposit bonus up to $1,000 in free credits.
Rest assured, DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, and you can deposit and withdraw your cash at your convenience.
And there's so much to check out. Player props, live betting, futures betting. It's all there and more with the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
If Sportsbook is not yet available in your state, don't forget about DraftKings Fantasy app. They're offering millions of dollars in total prizes every week. All right, Jack, big test, early season for the Knicks. They face the Bucks this week. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I mean, you got the defending champions and you got one of the hottest teams in the league, the Knicks. I think it's going to be a great early season matchup. Great test for the Knicks to see where they at. But, Milwaukee's riding a high right now, and I think the Greek Freak is going to remain unstoppable.
All right, Jack, the Warriors are at the top of the West. They got the Pelicans this week without Zion. Thoughts on this matchup?
Warriors balling, man. I think, Warriors, they're on another level right now. There's the Pelicans still trying to figure themselves out. What you think?
I think the Warriors are going to blow them out. Steph's playing on another level. Draymond is at like 9, and 7. Wiggins, these guys are playing really well. Hopefully Klay comes back healthy, and this team can have a shot at the championship. Jack, two of the top teams at their respective divisions, Jazz versus Heat. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, two teams that are definitely going to make some noise this year. Miami getting off to a great start. I'm still not sold on Utah yet, but it's going to be a great game.
New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code SMOKE to get a deposit bonus up to $1,000 in free credits.
That's promo code SMOKE. Head to the app now to check out all the great odds and promotions DraftKings Sportsbook has to offer.
Yo, you're not going to believe this.
What? You made the best play to nachos?
No, I found the best place to put your money.
Like a bank?
Nah, Moneyline.
Moneyline?
It's the place where you can bank, borrow, invest, and grow all in one app.
What?
Yeah, I can get up to $1,000 zero-interest cash advance with a recurring direct deposit. I can earn 5% cash back, and I can even earn up to $500 in cash rewards on every purchase.
Seriously? So those nachos can now be amazing. Rain and chorizo.
Listen, Moneyline has rewired the American financial system for all of us. Join the millions of hardworking Americans and put their money to work. Just go to Moneyline.com and download the app.
Now that's unbelievable.
Welcome back to another edition of All the Smoke. Jack, what's good, baby?
Back at it.
We got a good one today, man.
Back at it.
Season 3, we wanted to start bringing more versatility to the show, man, and this man speaks
more legends.
Perfect to what we were looking for, man. That's welcome to the show, Wood Harris.
Appreciate you,
bro.
Appreciate you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
What's going on right now? I know you're working on this new Lakers series. Let's get right to it. Talk to us about this Lakers series you're working on.
We're doing the Lakers 80s right now, which is showcasing on like the success of the ups and downs of the Lakers and a lot of the backstories.
Mm-hmm.
And I portrayed Spencer Haywood.
Shout out Spence.
So I got to meet the actual Spencer. I told Shaq that I finally went pro. You know what I'm saying? With the Lakers, but it's all good.
Yeah. So Spence, correct me if I'm wrong, Spence he tried to jump, right? He was the first one to try to jump.
Yeah. Spencer Haywood is the reason why people come out of school early.
Mm-hmm.
And not just him, but there were a few different athletes at that time who ended up having to go all the way to the Supreme Court with their case to be able to go pro.
Mm.
And from that point, I would say that Spencer Haywood, all the pros know who Spencer Haywood is, but I don't think he's as known as he probably should be at all.
Right.
So his story is in this story some. It's not completely with his story. We don't go into the whole court case that's mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, it's about the Lakers and it's dealing with the relationships of all the teammates and behind the scenes as well. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
What is it like to work? I mean, a historical team such as the Lakers, playing such a historical character that had a lot to do with how Kobe came in the game, Kevin Garnett came in the game, some of these other stars that, kind of ran the league for a while. But what is it like to play in a situation like that?
Man, You know, I'm prepared for it though. I would say as an experienced talent. You know, I'm kind of prepared for it. You know, I play a lot of real life people, so I kind of have my own method. And but it's large though. It's shot epically too. It's shot in film. Most things are shot digital. It's shot in film. So it's a really epic HBO series dealing with the Lakers. It's a little pressure though, because you know, I mean, Spencer Haywood is intense. I don't know if you guys know, he's intense. You know, he's intense. So you know, I want to get it right.
Right.
And at the same time, you know, it's not all about Spencer Haywood, but I want to get it right. He's very intense. So, you know, there's a little pressure.
When does that drop? Does that have a drop date yet? Do you guys know when that drops?
I think early next year in March or so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in March.
Definitely be on the lookout for that. Definitely. So take us back, Chicago, Illinois. Oh, son of Maddie and John.
That's it.
Talk to us.
Grew up on the west side of Chicago. Yeah, you know, me, my mom, my bro, my dad, you know, very, typical, I guess, ghetto type situation, as they say, you know. But we had a lot of basketball influence. You know, we went to the same grade school and high school as Isaiah Thomas. And my brother was close with Isaiah's family. So my brother and Isaiah's nephew were best friends, or are best friends. So as a kid, you know, I was around Isaiah Thomas, and just basketball was just everything. It just was everything with the school system that I went to. I went to the same high school as Hoop Dreams. If you ever see the private school with Coach Pingatore, who I think he died last year, but so we had a strong connection to that, Hoop Dreams and whatnot. Like, that's what it was like growing up. It was very much, but those days, you know, I'm in the 80s. I mean, it was heavy street, you know, street influences. So a lot of street dominance in the community that I grew up in.
What kept you on that path?
Really, my brother. My brother is an actor, Steve Harris, who people know him from his show on The Practice, and he also did just many movies, and he's on BMF too.
You guys are working together
Black
right now,
Mafia
right?
Family. Yeah. That's my older brother, and so, you know, I always say, like, he's my older brother, older enough to be a real older brother. You know, like, so I think he ended up being sort of like a guiding light for me in a sense, where I could have been drawn to, you know, the dark side of the moon and shit. My brother kind of like, nah, stay on the lit side of the moon, bro.
Who was your brother playing at BMF?
My brother is the cop.
The cop.
Yeah. He got a bald head. His name is Steve Harris.
Yeah, okay,
That's my older brother.
Okay.
He's been around for a minute. He's won
big
some awards.
Yeah. So you, obviously, basketball being a heavy influence, the arts came into your life early too. What got you doing that?
I was always just very artistic, just as a person. I still am. I'm, you know, a painter, musician, different instruments. I just was always just very artistic in general. That's just my own thing, you know. I don't think those communities make a lot of art centers, and you know what I'm saying. So, you know, what happened with me is I just had a great interest in acting. You know what I mean? I was just drawn to it, watching the TV and just being drawn into it as a kid. And to get away from the community, one of the means of getting away was you gotta go to school.
Something.
If you don't go to school, then you're probably gonna be there, get a job. If nothing pulls you away, you're gonna be there. You're gonna get a job. You probably end up having a baby or something. Boom, now you're there. You know what I'm saying? My brother went away to school, and then he came and got me one weekend. Was like, "Nah, you got to see like college life." You know what I'm saying? So I went to his college for the. And I was like, "Damn, this shit cool. Like I could do some other shit." You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I auditioned for college, and then I got a scholarship, and at that point, that's pretty much money, you know. So I started to like see it differently, you know. And then I wanted to be skilled and not just using intuition all the time. So you want to be skilled. I'm not a skilled painter. I'm a skilled actor. I can paint, but I'm a skilled actor.
At what age did you fall in love with acting?
Pretty young, you know, whitey tighties. You know what I'm saying? Cereal.
Preteen.
Right. Colorful cereal.
Yeah.
Black and white movies. You know, I fell in love with some of the older black and white movies with James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart and stuff like that. And then I was sort of like, as a kid, I would go in the other room and be acting like them, So it was probably my niche really early on to be involved in. I really never saw anything else. Never saw anything else as lit for me as far as what I wanted to do. And even though basketball and the sports in general is not just basketball. When I say basketball, it's but sports in general, it was a lot because you can't go act. You gotta do something. You know what I'm saying? So you just can't go do a play by yourself, right? So, but I'm competitive, and I think sports, that's why it's just mean a lot to me. I'm competitive, and acting is not really a competition, Maybe you compete to get a role if you're in the process of auditioning, and that's the competition. But if I'm doing a scene with y'all, it's not a competition, and we're telling a story, and I'm not really trying to be better than you. I'm not trying to outdo anything in a scene. But my competitive spirit helps me. I think it just puts confidence in me.
You had a really talented class at one point where a lot of people who went on and had some other success in the acting space. What was it like being around those names at that time? And did you see that in them? Did you guys see it in each other? Like, we do the AAU shit. That's similar to playing AAU ball. Like, damn, they all played together at one point. Like, you had a class with several actors in it that all made it big.
But, yeah. But it's like on a hindsight, it's a hindsight thing now. But during like in the moments of being in class, one of them was Mike Hall, who people know as Dexter. So we went to school together. Went to the same school, Jeffrey Wright.
Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah, Sterling K. Brown. Mahershala.
Yep.
Yeah. But it didn't, you just don't really know. So at that time, it's just like the AAU. Man, he cold, but still don't know.
You don't know if
anything can happen. So it's still that thing. All this stuff is rock and roll. If it's basketball, music, acting, it's just rock and roll because it's got a hustle to it that it's just built into it. It's a hustle built into it. You got to hustle as the individual, and even the business aspect. If you don't learn it, you'll be hustled on. If you learn it, then you do the hustle. So it's not like it's rock and roll. It's rock and roll. So
Broadway career, you played Harold Mitch Mitchell in the Broadway revival of A Streetcar Named Desire.
That's right.
By Tennessee Williams. What's different between Broadway and film?
Well, Broadway is like instant gratification, It's like you got the fans right there. It's like, I always say that basketball, what I love about sports is that it's theater in the sense that it's live. So that's the Broadway aspect of it, It's live and everything goes. So if you mess up, then that's going to be captured for the people in the audience, And as opposed to now, they want to look at Matt Barnes shake the ball at Kobe, you know what I'm saying? But that was live.
Right. Ain't no reenacting that.
You too. They want to see y'all had your famous moments.
Yeah.
Now it's just captured, digitally. But it was live. So, you had that experience live. You had that experience live. It's the same thing, theater juxtaposed film or television is it's dope because you just get the live experience, And so if somebody is crying, you can hear them in the audience crying, or laughing or whatever it is,
So you love them equally the same?
I do. Yeah, and I don't see one as, I don't see any, to me, the arts in general it's really just like a box of crayons in a sense. So every kid had a box of crayons, and then I'm older than y'all. Some of y'all had the box with the glitter crayons and shit. But I remember the little box with, I think it's 5 colors in it, 8 colors tops. The basics. And so my imagination is just that I don't really see rap or acting or those things are all just how you use the colors that you have at your use that you can utilize. So to me, I don't really see a difference in the arts so much. It's just, can you manifest that from your imagination? Can your imagination bottle the performance or the painting or the song? It's coming from a place of kind of nowhere. So, figuring shit out, there's some math to it. There's math to art.
Mm-hmm.
And art is math. A song is math. So figuring the things out so that you have something dope is something else. And then it depends on the type of artist you are. If you're the type that, like, I don't really listen to too much of what somebody says about a performance, because I did it already.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter so much. Yes or no, meaning, whether they like it or not. So I usually just get people who tell me they love it, or, pretty much they say they love it.
Mm-hmm.
And then occasionally you get somebody like, fuck you.
That's part of it.
Ass nigga, fuck you. I'm like, thank you, man. All this
You did
love
your
shit.
job,
I need
right.
somebody to come and say fuck
Yeah.
you. You know what I mean? But really though, like ignoring the yays and the nays is a good thing to be involved with. Ignoring what people think. And yes and no. I mean the good and the bad, basically.
We want to give thanks to our friends at Manscaped this year, the global leaders in below-the-waist grooming. Give your extended family and in-laws with the Performance Package 4.0 and earn brownie points. Gifting Manscaped is the ultimate hack to become the family favorite.
The only thing I want to carve this holidays is the turkey. And I've had nicks down there before, and it isn't fun. Manscaped makes the perfect package for your package.
Inside you'll find a Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose trimmer, Crop Preserver, Ball Deodorant, Crop Reviver Toner, Performance Boxer Briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. Think of it as a cornucopia for your balls.
Their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It also gives you the ability to turn on the 4000K LED spotlight on when needed for precise shaving. Plus, it's waterproof.
The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker to chop your worst weeds up top in your nose and ear. The nose and ear hair trimmer uses a 9,000 RPM motor 360-degree rotary dual blade system that provides proprietary skin-safe technology which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes.
Don't forget about Manscaped's liquid formulations, the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, the Crop Reviver Tone Spray. That's like pumpkin pie and ice cream after Thanksgiving dinner. You can't live without it.
Manscaped has been busy and also just launched the Refined Body Wash and 2-in-1 Shampoo plus Conditioner. Both features the Manscaped signature scent and will help unlock your confidence this year.
Get 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/allthesmoke. That's 20% off, free shipping by going to manscaped.com/allthesmoke. Be thankful this holiday season. The best gifts of all are from Manscaped. Your balls will thank you later. Hey, fellas, you won't always make that free throw 100% of the time, and that's okay.
You can miss your shot in the bedroom as well, but there's options to help.
When the moment of intimacy arrives, you can be ready with Roman. Whether you've been in a relationship for years or just getting started, having the confidence of being prepared means you can enjoy the moment when it comes.
ED treatment can help you reconnect with your partner and rediscover joy in the bedroom.
With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for your erectile dysfunction, all from the comfort and privacy of your home.
Roman's system is complete and confidential and totally discreet. No big logos or labels on packages.
A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If the medication is appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping.
The whole process is straightforward, convenient, and discreet.
Remember, even though you're far from ordinary, the truth is, ED is really common. Guys from 40 to 70 experience some form of ED.
Take care of your ED without leaving your home. Complete an online visit today and connect with the U.S. licensed healthcare professional and take care of it.
Go to roman.com/allthesmoke today, and if you're prescribed, get $15 off your first month of ED treatment. Make sure you're ready to have confidence and control this fall. Roman is.
$1994, Butter Rim. Big moment in my life, I know. Big moment in your life, too, from the movie to the soundtrack. How was it actually being in that movie and also being along with the late, great Pac? acting with him?
Man, well, I'll take Tupac first because Tupac, in the moments of it, just knowing him, and I love hip hop, I'm a hip hop head. But at the time, I wasn't the biggest fan of Tupac's. There was a lot of rappers to like, and they all were different. Nothing like that. Today, they're all the same, but back then, they were all different. And I was a fan, but I wasn't like, oh man, Tupac, man. So I wasn't like sitting up there. When I first worked with Denzel, I was like, damn, this is Denzel Washington. Like, he's a major influence on me.
Right.
So at the time, that was my first movie, or first professional thing of that like in film.
That's a hell of a one to start with.
Yep.
Yeah. Pac was. I always tell people he kind of like put himself out there. Like, I can't tell you something different about Pac, that you couldn't think. I mean, what he was like. Like, it was honest to the way he was. But he did have a side where he could talk about, like, he would sit and talk about Lorraine Hansberry, who wrote the play A Raisin in the Sun, or talk about Gandhi, all in the same conversation, in a one-on-one situation, So he was, and then I talked to him a couple weeks before he died, too. And that was different because it was just a brief, hello, what's up, this and that, blah, 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 man, this and that. Excuse me, 2 weeks later, he died. He was killed, as everyone knows. But the film, working on the film itself was, a dream. You know what I'm saying? I got a movie. Yeah, and it was my first thing I ever auditioned for, So it was really a dream.
So that's
to
the
me.
first one you ever auditioned for?
That's the first one. And again, my brother, right? My brother set that up. Because I could hoop, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like you guys. You guys are professional.
Now, you had some G. You had
He
some
was
G.
nice in that
You
shit,
had
I
some
could hoop.
G.
Yeah,
nice
I
in
always
that
feel
shit.
like outside the pro, I can tell y'all a funny story. One time I had to, when the NBA went on, I'll get back to it in a second, but when the NBA went on hiatus, and I think the Spurs won that year, what's that?
99.
98, 99.
98, 99. Now, 98, 99, I thought I could be. Like, I tried to dunk on Rodman one time. I'm gonna block my shit so crazy, a celebrity game, Rodman. It was back then, I just thought like, I thought I could be a professional basketball player. A lot of cats think they can. Let me tell you what snapped me out of it. So, what I had to understand about it, right? Because I wasn't conditioned. I didn't have nobody to help me condition to be a professional athlete or even a top-notch athlete. So all my stuff is just me, right? It's not even any trained stuff. But in 99, was it 98, 99? I'm in Philly filming a movie. And the strike happened. So a lot of the players be from Philly. They found a gym. So I forgot who told me. Somebody told me, the players got a gym, they going to the gym. What? Hey, I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose some of the names, y'all. I'm gonna forget some of the names. All these cats went on to be so legit pros. So, but the one I had to stick, right? So I don't want to stick somebody in my height. I'm like 6'3", 6'4", right?
Like Murray.
I'm gonna pad my shoes. I'm gonna be about 6'4" and some change, right? If I have to. I come in the gym. The only cat around my height is Katina Mobley.
Ooh-wee. It's a long day.
Badness.
He was coming out of Rhode Island?
Yeah.
At that point, I didn't know who he was.
First
He
step,
was humble to
killer.
them up. He was chilling. Oh yeah, he didn't say shit to me. He was just like, oh, okay, cool. Boy, when I tell you,
Cat was nice.
it was like, not only was he just nice, you underestimate how much work it is happening on the court. When you're watching it, it just look like they floating on the court and shit. No, man, that shit is... And even the pickup games be... You expect a pickup game. When I play a civilian's pickup game, there's resting moments. I have a resting moment, bro. My pattern of resting moments, I was dead. I literally thought I was gonna die. No, I'm not kidding. My heart never beat so hard as to guard. And that was Katina Mobley, and he was dope. I went on to be, at least I said it was him, right? At least it was him. But anyway,
he's still dope.
Yeah, he is still dope. But anyway, it was above the rim. And so just getting back on that for a second. And what was you talking about? The process of it?
Just being there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a dream come true. At the time, though, I had gotten into NYU because I really expected to do a lot more theater and just, like I told you, I was looking for skill. You know, just like in basketball, you got at some point you got to have skill.
Yeah.
Which means you got to work on something.
Add something new to your game.
People think they can act without skill. It does require skill, and you can't just go get a ball and shoot around and become at least a good free throw shooter. You know what I'm saying? If you can do that on your own with the basketball, but in acting, how do you get this? How do you manifest skill? So you kind of almost have to learn it through experience, which is what you have to go through. You have to learn through experience. Or you have to be taught, like, or you can have both of them happen. You know what I'm saying? Same with doing directing or working in these things is not as easy as it looks, just like on the screen.
Right.
So expect things to be different because there's pressure when it goes 3, 2, 1, action. Different than this pressure. Pressure of memorization, pressure of
Getting it
commitment.
right.
Yeah, getting it right because it's not just memorization. You gotta get this glass, simple shit, right? You gotta take this glass to the sink and say your lines. That's nothing. Action. But it's the action part. Stephen Jackson. So how do I grab a glass? I think I grab it like this.
It turns a robot.
Like a person never smoked a cigarette before, right? They get a scene, they gotta smoke a square in a scene. They hold that mother.
All wrong.
It's looking like that to them, right?
Right.
They're not calm and cool with it. Or if they gotta do some shit with a joint or even drinking. You know, they gotta be drunk. They don't really drink though. Or they never smoked the joint, so when they get hot, they be so like, yeah, dude, I don't know, where are we? And all that type of shit, which is a bunch of bullshit. But you want authenticity when you're doing a portrayal, at bare minimum. Just like you want to have, and the easy part is to have like conversational reality. You can always sound real. Somebody could have written something, handed to you, and you can make it sound real. So at bare minimum, you want to have conversational reality and authenticity with regards to the story you're trying to tell. So from both sides.
Right.
Both sides. Yeah.
When did it hit you? I mean, that cast, well, it was a great cast. When did it kind of hit you that that was going to be a classic movie?
Above the Rim?
Yes.
I mean, much later, man. It was after Tupac was died tragically, and it became it though. You know, you're not really shit just become what it becomes. Y'all know that well.
But that's one of them, when that shit first dropped, everybody at the movie.
Because the soundtrack,
Yeah,
first
the
of all,
the
people used to
soundtrack
go
was
to the theater.
Yeah,
So
back
now
then.
we sound like crazy, right?
99
People used
cent
to go to
movies.
the theater, right? And the soundtrack used to be like what boosted a film, stuff that they don't really do so much anymore. But so that soundtrack was dope. It had, of course, it had Tupac, it had Nate on it. It just had everybody
That
on it. It was
Pain
just
song
dope.
by Tupac.
Yes, that was the shit. That's the shit. Soundtrack is actually a dope soundtrack. That's a missing part of the form. It's kind of like, just like you don't have record covers anymore and nothing like that. None of the art. You just have the song. You don't even have the song. You got the MP3.
Right.
You have nothing. Okay? You have nothing. Let's figure out how to sell nothing a lot.
They do it well.
And they do it well.
The basketball scenes in the movie.
I was taking off on those marks.
Yeah.
A lot of them cats was.
You was taking off on them?
Yeah, because I had hops back then. I'm still dunking. I'm doing all that stuff. Like I'm trying to be Spencer Haywood.
Right.
So
be careful now.
I had to. Y'all heard of I had to do knees over toes.
So you still dunking right now?
Doing it. I'm still dunking. My man from Knees Over Toes got me straight. And it's like this, because I tore my Achilles twice, right, with my right leg. So, that's really a deal ender for my generation. It was a deal. Now people come back, but it used to be this over. Like, crazy, you tore this shit twice. It's like, cash him out.
Leg too?
Shoot the horse. Bow. Huh?
Same leg?
Same leg. Damn. Same leg. Same leg. Both hooping, just doing nothing really too. But I had worn it out so much that, you get up with that stiffness. Well, I would get up with that shit, warm it up, and then go play. And then the stiffness, that's rigidity that's liable to snap at some point.
That wear and tear.
Small little cuts and stuff that you...
Yo, I don't give a fuck what Birdie says. I would bury the both of you motherfuckers.
There's his one.
But you don't know stuff is going to be classic,
Get
though.
the whip.
You don't. Just to answer that. You don't. I know that's good.
Do you see that shit? You see that shit? You got to be motherfucking soldiers. Now drive, nigga.
That's my shit.
It's on point. Jack want to act. I'm trying to tell you. You spoke on Denzel. Remember the Titans. Classic. You received a nomination for the NAACP Image Awards. Outstanding Supporting Actor. Like you said, you were in awe when you got in the presence of Denzel. What was that experience like?
Man, it was like it had a surreality to it for me because I was a fan. I am a fan of many different actors. So one of them is, of course, Denzel. He's more than a fan. I wouldn't say a fan as much as I'm just inspired by Denzel to try to be great. Not everybody gets that, So I would see him and just be inspired to learn more about the craft, And so when I got the opportunity to meet him, I first worked with him on The Siege. I was in school at the time. He did this film called The Siege. So I had this small little role in the film The Siege where I was this cop.
Gene Hackman?
Not Gene, yeah, Gene Hackman.
Gene
Yeah.
Hackman.
And Denzel. And I spoke to Denzel in the scene, I was like, oh shit. But I didn't really meet him. And then he directed a film I was up for, which was Antoine Fisher story. So I was a part of the process of the audition process, and that it came down to me and other people. I don't know all the people. It went to Derek Luke though, so I got to know him then. And then the third time was Remember the Titans. So, I always say that the acting gods love me because they show me like they light my path in a way. Because I think if I had to just jump into a movie with them,
fresh,
then I probably would have been just kind of like feeling him. But instead, I'm just like, I crafted my own self. Now I'm just me. I'm me too much now. I can't.
Right.
Like Allen Iverson, big fan of Jordan, but
still him.
I've been looking at these videos. He dropping Jordan 44, 43.
I'm AI.
I don't think nobody gave Jordan numbers like Allen Iverson. And I'm not exaggerating.
No.
I don't think nobody gave him consistent numbers. I think Allen Iverson outscored Michael Jordan almost in every competition that the Bulls and Philly played, which is only a set number of times, right? Even if Mike had 41 and I had funny. First of all, I love Allen. I'm a huge. That's one of my favorite people, of course. And and his game and stuff. I'm a big fan. I love him as a person. That was the first time you saw an athlete with a baby at the stand.
Word.
And Allen Iverson did that. Some people just do it. Let me just show my lifestyle. Allen Iverson just like he loved that kid. He's like a love people for real. The baby there because he loved the baby. It wasn't even so that the camera could have a baby. Now. He was the first to do so much cool shit. He's like a Spencer Haywood in the sense
a trendsetter.
Just walls. And then he had to be persecuted for shit they do normally now. Motherfuckers have tats like written on their grills.
Yeah, all kinds of shit.
I'm pro now on their face.
He said, fuck you, I'm pro now.
I'm a pro right here. He had what he had. I mean, he had whatever he had. But anyway, him and Rodman are people who just really stepped outside the barriers. But watching the games, I watch a lot of the older stuff just to watch it. Because when we talk about the GOAT and all that, I've been wanting to see Mike again. Because you can forget. When I look at LeBron with no reference, even me, when I look at LeBron James and some of these basketball players, the way they play now, which is just unbelievable, by the way. Without the reference to Michael Jordan, they do look like the best.
Right.
Because right in that moment, they the best you ever seen. Kobe Bryant and LeBron James are the best you ever seen in the moment. And so is Michael Jordan. But when you go look back at Michael Jordan, compare him to the rest, then you start having like an evaluative process that like, because I couldn't believe how quick he was when I go look at, if you haven't been looking at Michael Jordan, go look at Michael Jordan's footage. Whether you like basketball, go look at Michael Jordan's foot. Because Michael Jordan is so inspiring to see him, because it's all work. That shit is work.
Yeah.
That's work.
Dedication.
It's dedication and work. And if and I like those players like that because they're like my Denzels where it's like, they make me feel like I want an Oscar or something like that, when an Oscar don't really matter. You know, it matters the moment in the process in the film or TV thing that you're doing. That matters. The business that you do, you support your family with this, that matters. But the trophies, those are TV shows and stuff like that. But Denzel, he just is like that person. Not just Denzel. I'm using him almost like, you know, it's Sidney Poitier's Denzel Washington. There's a few of them. I'm just clumping them under Denzel in a sense.
Right.
Put Denzel at the top, but it's a little pyramid of people who are inspirational because you want to be a pro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because acting can be very hobby-like. The whole process can, because especially nowadays, technology make it so you can make the shit on your phone. So you know, there's no reason that you can't do it. So
I'm a crier.
Oh, okay.
So I got to ask about.
He's a sensitive thug.
Yeah, I just want to ask you about Remember the Titans.
Mhm.
Did it ever get to any moments in that movie where y'all broke down on set? Because there's a lot of real moments in that movie.
Well, I mean, there's a scene I cry in one scene on there, and that's real. You know, that's a process though, a skilled process though. So I make it myself cry in that moment, but it's real. And they don't know, the other actors. Like if I'm working with y'all right now and like I had to look like this, you guys don't typically see me with like gray hair and all that. Let's say it was a scene and everything, you would only see me pretty much like this. The makeup that's done to me, that would be probably the only way you saw me, even if it was fro.
Right.
Or the whole time I'd be working with y'all, I wouldn't be letting you see me Wood Harris necessarily, you know. So in the process, I forgot why I mentioned that, but in the process, I tend to be that way where I'm engaged with it so much that
you in the moment.
Yeah, I'm just in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not going to be chopping it up too much.
Cause when you watch great movies, like you get into that moment too, and I really like. I was into the movie, and I really was believing the bond that you and Batir had. You know what I'm saying?
That's my boy for
to
real
see him
now.
get hit by a car,
Man,
and
he's
that's
dope.
your man.
I love that dude.
You know what I'm saying?
That dude is dope. I'm to myself kind of guy, you know what I'm saying? But I'm blessed. I know y'all. I know people. I'm just blessed to know, man, just like great people. You know, I know cool people. And I know people who I feel like I ideologically, you know, I vibe with. You know what I'm saying? So I'm lucky. I'm just a reclusive person that's just like to be myself, pretty much. You know, well, not likes to, but somehow that's how it goes.
You appreciate
that's
quite
how
a long
it goes.
time.
You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, remember the Titans as far as crying and being emotional in the scenes and being emotional on the set. We can't because in between action and cut, you know, it's only about 45 seconds. You're mastering, you know, this little component of time that's small within the space. So like, you know, they say action is 45 seconds, maybe 60 seconds before you say cut. You just want that. No matter what you're doing on the outside of that minute of time or 45 seconds to a minute of time, you want to be able to be relaxed and committed and prepared, memorization, whatever else, characterization, whatever else, for that 60 seconds. Some motherfuckers could, you know, go drink, chill. They say action, we'd be right into it. Or they can be, you know, dancing and shit. Like, I'm not gonna do none of that necessarily. But some people just go get on their phones and shit and just, okay, right now I'm doing fucking Candy Crush and shit. They said action, be right into it, you know. I'm not really like that. So for me, and for each individual, you find your rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Some actors, they can drink, they can smoke, they can do whatever, and they still can do a great job.
I think it's similar with sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people have to lock in, be quiet, don't talk, headphones, whatever. Some people are rapping, talking shit, texting. But as long as whatever works for you, really.
I probably would have the headphones on in that situation. You know,
And
I probably would have the headphones on.
In the corner, listening to music. There's a lot of, I mean, it's different. Like I said.
But I would be cool though. I would come dap up, say whatever, boom, 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 and then just get in my zone.
Yeah, get locked in. Everybody get locked in different.
Because that's that 60 seconds. On the court too, it was 40 minutes, 48 minutes or so. It's an hour, not even, of time to master, you know. And if you put it into that perspective, then, you know, then you want to do the best you can in that moment, you know, in that moment. So I've sort of like programmed myself over the years to just commit to that 60 seconds of time. Especially I'm playing Spencer Haywood, Julius from Remember the Time. They're real people. Avon from The Wire is a real person. Ace from Paid in Full is a real person.
Right.
Jimi Hendrix is a real person.
Mhm.
I met all the people, the families, and I met the living people, you know. So it feels like there's something, you know, I don't want to do a disservice to these people, you know. So I do feel like there is pressure for me to be, you know, highly engaged. So I don't really hobnob around all that much. Even during the process, while I've been shooting this Laker thing, we've been shooting for months now, several months. I don't feel like I can do much of anything else. Same with Broadway. On Broadway, you have to memorize the entire play. So, you know, when you're doing your scenes, you're gonna come in with your day planned out. Your day is planned out and memorized. And the stuff you have memorized, like I said, it's only gonna be, you know, 60 seconds of stuff. You can go do that and you can figure out everything you need for that 60 seconds of stuff. Why not? Why wouldn't you be able to do that? You know what I'm saying? So when you're doing that, you want to highly commit yourself to it. All the processes that you already did, your preparation matters so much, you know. So for me, I tend to just keep it to myself.
Paid in Full, another classic. Again, portraying a real life person. What was it like working with that team of people? The people who brought the project together, Dame and the crew, and again, looking back on it being another culture classic.
Got the gold BBSs on this shit.
Fact. Man, it's just like I'm super blessed to be in all this stuff. Just to hear you saying it back to me, it's a lot of classic stuff, you know.
Right.
Paid in Full, you know, it's beautiful to me, Paid in Full, because it matters to people.
Man, still to this
I just
day.
love that the stuff that we're talking about actually matters to
Resonates.
people, and helps out people. Like, I was walking my dog the other day, and this cat came up to me. Oh man, I wish I could remember his name, because he's gonna see this and probably like wish I remembered his name. But he came, just random cat on the street, and he stopped me and he was just like, "Man, you know, you got me off the street with Paid in Full." And this happened to me before, you know, it wasn't the first time. But that's what I mean, you know, man, I feel blessed to be that type of a personality that could have an influence like that. That's really good. Like, I'm gonna do a master class in the prisons. I didn't tell you this, no, you guys, this ahead of time. I'm gonna do this, it's gonna be filmed and all that. It's a master class with the prison acting people, with people who act in prison. Which is, in prison, the lowest recidivism rate is that class of people who engage with theater in prison. So I'm just gonna do a master class. And
that's beautiful, because you know, Common did, what did he do? What did Common do?
A music studio.
A music studio.
And I'm gonna make sure we it's just gonna be dope. It's gonna be something we do. It's gonna be episodic. I'll make sure we make some episodes out of it, because I think it could just be something.
It's important.
Exactly.
It's important, man. It's important.
It's gonna be fun too. It's gonna be fun because I can't wait to see some of the stuff. Like, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope.
What was it like working with Cameron and Makai?
Oh man, I love them. They're my bros. You know, I'm lucky to have chemistry with them cats. You know, like easy chemistry with Makai. Makai like my bro for real. I already knew Makai prior to Paid in Full. Makai helped me out in the process some. I don't know if he even remembers, but early on in the process, he gave me some Don Diva magazines and stuff, because I didn't really know much about Ace, right? And or AZ is his real name. And so when I started to learn it, I was like, oh wow, this is an opportunity. This is a great opportunity. And it's a real story. It's a true story. Charles Stone, who directed it, had done like a lot of the Tribe Called Quest videos, so I knew the approach was going to not just be a simple approach. I knew he was going to be an imaginative director, you know. And then when I met AZ, it really sealed the cap on it all. And then we started to film the process of meeting Cameron. Cameron was in character. So, you know, y'all know who the character was. So Cameron was in character.
Yeah.
So, you know, I got stories, you know, about, I got a lot of love for Cameron.
Come on, I want to hear some stories, because he was on one in that movie.
Let me see, can I tell a story?
Rico.
Let me go through my Cameron story, see if I can tell a Cameron story.
Panamanian cat, Puerto Rican cat.
What's the point of having soldiers if you ain't gonna use them?
Yeah.
Fuck this Kermit the Frog.
I can't tell a Cameron story. I can't even tell a Cameron story. I can't tell no story.
Kermit the Frog make a nigga beat.
That's my dog.
I respect that.
Yeah, I can't tell no camera stories on this. Hell no. But the process was dope. Charles Stone, the way he is, he's a pretty magical director. He's seamless, like you don't feel him there. I'll tell you something that happened on the set with Cameron. There's a scene in the movie where you see we on the block, New York. Cameron see this dude drive up, and it's supposed to be dry on the streets in terms of drugs. It's dry. So the dude say something to Cameron. Cameron goes to the window,
drag him out,
still on him, pull him
out the car.
So that's not scripted like that, And he actually tagging the boy.
He really.
Yeah, he's supposed to just like he's supposed to open the door. He ain't supposed to do that. It just says, gets him out of the car. Cameron, his acting was there. So that's what I mean. He was committed. He was not just being Cameron. Like, Cameron is different than that portrayal. That was a really great portrayal of the character who he was supposed to be, Alpo.
Yeah.
So,
do you realize? I don't know. Like we always talk about, you in the middle of it, but do you realize how many movies that are our culture classics that you're a part of?
I do now in these moments, but I don't really think about it so much.
That's a big part of our show. We give people our flowers.
I appreciate that. No, I do appreciate that.
I don't know. If you don't know, now you should know.
Well, I do realize
like
in this moment.
Different soundtracks that we grow up to. Like, there's a lot of movies that you in that's like the soundtrack to our lives, bro.
That's crazy.
And you realize too, like,
that's crazy.
Hey, when I hit you the other day for the show and I put it in the chat, Jack don't get excited for no one. We've been blessed to have everybody, and he was excited to have you. And it's just dope. like it's really. We really fuck with you as a culture. And to me, like I said, obviously you get your respect, but I just think you're underrated from a standpoint of what you've done for us as a culture. You know what I mean? And not just us, just for everybody, but, and particularly us. It's just an honor to be able to, me getting a chance to know you a couple of years ago. And we was chopping up the whole
for Creed. Remember?
Yeah.
And I do Creed 3. Creed 3, shout out.
Creed, the Creed Jordan, shit. I remember I was in you with Tony Jeffries in Santa Monica trying to teach you how to be a trainer.
Shout out Tony Jeffries.
Shout out Tony. He hit me in the DMs the other day.
We did some boxing training because I had to learn the training aspect of the boxing, not the boxer aspect. Yeah. So Tony Jeffries, shout out, was working with me and Matt for a day over at Santa Monica. Here. Yeah. So that was.
But then we was talking about too before the whole Black Panther thing came to life with Ryan. I had said, I was like, "Wood, I got an idea. I got some people. Let's do this, man." And pitched the whole plan, and it crazy,
came into fruition. Like
all
we were saying, it's like, you basically told me right verbatim everything that then occurred with regards to all of that, including Ryan.
Ryan was in
the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were definitely ahead of the pack with your idea about that.
We had something, but it ended up working out. Definitely ended up working out.
Oh, Avon Barksdale.
Yeah.
The Wire. Yeah, y'all know I was gonna get excited about that. I think with me, the reason why I fell in love with The Wire and your character and the whole thing is because I grew up in that type of environment. You know what I'm saying? The dope game, the projects, the killing, the robbing, the setups, the backstabbing, the whole nine, police, all that. So when I was able to see y'all bring this to TV, you know what I'm saying? And constantly make it real life scenarios, like it was big for people in our demographic. You know what I'm saying? How did you bring Avon Barksdale to life, and what was your thoughts when you got that role?
Well, when I got that role, I think the first two people that they really assigned to be who were cast were me and Idris. So no one knew Idris at the time, and I didn't either. But the casting director was so happy about We Too that I was like, man, I didn't know what was going on. I had done, I think, Remember the Titans right before that or something like that. So I was in this other state of mind. Sometimes you get involved in characters, you be still floating in their vibe, before you get back to your own vibe or whatever. And so that's what took me back to my vibe. It's more like, I'm from the same type of environment. So I didn't know much about Baltimore. I had never really been there. But when you hear Maryland, it don't sound like no bad place. You know what I'm saying? Baltimore, Maryland. Doesn't that sound nice? I remember thinking, okay, I'm gonna be there. We're gonna shoot The Wire. It's probably gonna be.
The bottom.
Baltimore is special. It's a special place. it needs a lot of attention, like Baltimore could use some good attention.
In real life.
In
for
real life, I mean, just the city itself. And back then, for sure, when I was filming there, I mean, it needed like a lot of attention. It was a neglected city, and so I commuted a lot, and so did Idris for a lot of the time that we were there. Commuted from New York. I think he commuted from New Jersey or something like that. And because when you're there, Baltimore was so, you just would feel like you needed to be a part of something more than television. So I needed to be in character, you know what I'm saying? I didn't need to try to be, activistic. I am, so I wanted to be, I was excited about doing a series. I had never done a series. And then no one in the cast was more famous or less famous or anything,
Right.
So it was cool. We were able to just have like a real brotherliness that we still have, just and a lot of like love for each other. I just posted a picture of me and Idris and just put on there Wire Gang for life. You know what I'm saying?
That's hard.
Michael B. Jordan said, gang, 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 gang,
Gang,
gang.
gang, yeah.
You dig? And Hassan Johnson and Andre Royo, of course, my man Michael K. Williams, who I
Rest
love
in
so
peace.
much, and Idris and all of us, I just love Mike a lot, though. I kind of gotta, not go there too much because, yeah, Mike was a special person in general. And like I said, when you close and in person with these people, it's different than people watching 5 players on the court. You know what I'm saying? They don't know y'all talking in the locker room. They don't even know y'all talking in the locker room.
Period.
They don't even think about that.
We spend more time together.
When an athlete walks through the tunnel, the shit turns the channel. It's all,
What's next?
Yeah. They don't even know that there's the moments of unlacing the shoe where you sit next to your man. You do that all the time, and y'all talk about life. And so that's what's good about the Lakers series that I'm doing. Now, it really does go into their lives. It's almost like being a fly on the wall type of way. So, and it's epically shot in film. So,
with The Wire being as trend-setting and historical as it was, and the cast you just named, to not be recognized during these award seasons, how tough was that for you guys?
Oh, at the time, I don't think we were even concerned about it. We just were.
The streets.
Everybody was, we were just like, I mean, it had good feedback, but also, none of us were from Baltimore. So, we all had to be in Baltimore. We were just in this sort of bubble in a sense. And I think that, at least myself, I didn't really think about the show. I didn't think about the magnitude of something. I just was thinking about just doing it. I wasn't thinking about what could be. I'm never thinking about what could be from something. But what happens is cool to feel in the moment without, giving my mind a direction. So I'm just playing that game with myself for a long time to just be able to not impregnate my ideas, to give myself an outcome. So, yeah, like
But still, with that said, and I respect that approach. I mean, again, as we sit back and kind of listen or list what you've been a part of, I know as athletes, we never really get a chance to really appreciate it because it's always what's next game, next season, how many seasons we gonna be able to play. Similar, I mean, you're gonna act until you don't want to act. You know what I mean? So it's the same?
I would say that's good. Yes, it's much like that. Where you're segregating life. Okay, the athlete is something, the artist is something different than perception most of the time. People don't see the totality of who we are very often at all. So it's difficult sometimes to be able to see yourself, and really own yourself. Because, the phone makes us talk in the mirror a lot. We're just talking in the fucking mirror when you really don't talk in the mirror that much. And when you do, you catch yourself talking in the mirror. So, I don't know. We live in different times, though, where I like older days, pay phones and shit. Pay phones, 25-cent pay phones. But it is what it is.
What about your upbringing in Chicago helped you in a few different roles that you've kind of mastered over your career?
Any character that was from the street, you can always tell when somebody can't hoop and they're doing a basketball player, or they're really not that tough, or they're not from the street. They don't even know nobody tough, and they playing a tough guy or being some kind of street, or they don't know anything about drugs, or they never been in the dark side of the moon. Like I said, they
When it's
don't
not
really know what
authentic.
that's like.
Mhm.
And so, for any roles like that, then I think I've always felt confident, or what it just gives me confidence already, because I'm like, well, I'm from there. Like with Above the Rim, my brother was like, man, this is perfect for you. It's like basketball and it's urban, right? Street. And so the audition, not to get all the way back to it, but the audition had me playing basketball at one point. And then, actors, they some of them can play now,
Most
but
of them
back then,
trash.
yeah, like total trash. So like anybody who showed up, I'm flying through them. Literally, the director came up to me, was like, 2 fingers, you got the role. Literally, Jeffrey Pollard, rest in peace. He that's literally happened. He ran on the court. Because the stuff I did in the movie, I was just doing it right there, because that's just how I play
You was really
basketball.
hooping, though.
Yeah, but they were slobs, so I'm pulling T-Max off the glass, literally, like T-Macing off the glass. Because and so he ran on the court. Then I remember going home, because I lived in New York at the time. I'm on the A train, and I just got this role in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like how is this gonna be? So I'm about to go tell my mom I got this role in this movie, and you go tell these people, and it's almost like it's just not real until the first check is cut. Even in the pros, like, oh yeah, I went pro. But then it's very real when the first check is cut.
First and the 15th.
Yeah, it's professional when the work is there, but I was just telling us, I was like, nobody knew that. I was like, man, I just told y'all I got a movie and nobody gave a damn, like damn near. And later on that night, I leave the crib, I go to this bodega, just so I can put in perspective for y'all synergy of things, right? So I leave the crib, I go to the bodega. And at this time, I'm living in Midtown, New York, so I'm living up the street from where Pac got shot, right? I lived up the street from where he got shot the first time.
Bar Studios?
Yeah, right up the street. I live on 49th, between 8th and 9th, right up the street. So I go to the bodega, who I run into Marlon Wayans. Like, he didn't know me. I had no films at all. But he had seen me because he'd been to the production office and they had my picture on the wall.
Yeah.
So Marlon, funny dude, I don't know if Marlon, I'm sure he remembers, maybe not, but he came up to me in the bodega and said, yo, you Motar in the movie. And I was shocked. I was like, yo, this is real. This is real. Like, running into people time and time again, meeting people along the way who end up actually accomplishing the goals. Like, I knew Omari Hardwick a long time ago, and he came up to me randomly and was like, yeah, I'm about to do that. And then like 2 years later, he was in a movie with me, you know what I'm saying? Like 2 years after seeing him on the street, just coming up and be like, you know what? And that happens a lot. And most of the time, the people don't really end up, you don't end up seeing them 2 years later.
Right.
And they don't end up being on the series for Power and all that kind of stuff. So it's just synergy around the whole thing that you do. Like, when, it always boggles my mind when I hear athletes talk about other athletes that they know growing up. That seems like the weirdest thing. Like Harden and like Westbrook to get like growing up around each other or being around each other in each other's lives. It seems like so bizarre, but you guys know each other forever already. You're competing against somebody you saw
teenager.
Yeah, before they had anything, right? And it's weird to go from, I always tell them, especially nowadays, it didn't used to be so much so, but the NBA is like a lottery ticket. I mean, like a financial lottery ticket.
That's what you say though.
Yeah, it really is.
I hit the lottery, yeah.
Like, yeah, you actually hit the fucking, like, and some of them be mega balls, right? Cats be getting the mega ball,
the
too.
300
like,
ball, the 200 ball.
The hundo shit. The hundo is a
That's
mega
the
ball.
weirdest thing. I don't understand how they deal with that as young people. Like, because I don't think I could deal with that as a young person.
I couldn't.
Yeah, I
wasn't even making that much, and I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do, I just couldn't imagine being with that much money, 60 million, 80 million, 100 million.
Try one.
20 years old.
Just try one. At 18, 19.
Well, yeah,
I was
at
out of
18
control.
and 19 is ridiculous.
I was out of control.
Back to The Wire as you say, you've played a lot of real life characters. How important was it for you and the rest of the cast to embody, like you said, no one was from Baltimore. How important was it to embody the essence and the grind of Baltimore?
I mean, very, very important. But the essence of it came from the writing, because when you watch The Wire, you're almost seeing a verbatim. A lot of it is exactly the script. At least for me, it's exactly the script. All the time when you see me in something, it's probably exactly the script. So I'm sure other characters do other things, but for the most part, the writing is the essence of it. It's so well written by David Simon and so well directed by really the crew. Not necessarily the directors rotate on a TV series. It's not typical to have one director for the entire series. It's rare. I think True Detective did that season when they had one director for the entire season, HBO show, True Detective. But typically another director. You got 10 episodes, you might have 5 directors or maybe you have 10 directors, depending on the contract that each director has. So on The Wire, the essence is really, it's well done in all those ways, all the technical ways. The essence is in the script, the words themselves. They lived it. David Simon was writing in Baltimore. He created part of the creation of The Corner. So they knew that stuff extremely well. They knew the ins and outs of it. Like anybody else that knew the in and out, perfectly knew something. And so I give it up to them because they gave us that material, and then they gave us a lot of freedom too, because sometimes you do a series and especially when people know it's really good, a lot of chiefs come out and want to take they just want to be a part of this good thing, But it never really happened like that in my case. It was always just family-like. It's a real cool experience. You're able to be yourself. When I say family, you should be able to be yourself at home. So when I say family, I mean like that, where Idris could act like Idris, Wood could be Wood. No, there's no energy of celebrity.
No egos. What's it like to see a young Michael B. Jordan and then to see kind of follow his career and see him blossom into the actor he is today?
Just amazing, man. Just amazing, man. And the person that he is, and genuinely. More importantly, no one deserves that more than somebody like him. A personality like his. And Mike is the genuine great person, a great guy. Watching him mature is just amazing. I mean, he was on The Wire. So I think Mike was maybe 16, maybe 15, 16, I think, on The Wire, maybe 15, something like that. And he's got laser focus. So, if somebody had a superpower, his focus, he's able to just focus, I think, as a young person too, especially as a 16-year-old. And when I say that, I mean, because he could say, he's humble enough to be like, all right, you like a big bro. You and Idris, y'all my big bros. That's it. Boom.
Ain't afraid to ask.
That's two cool big bros to have because Idris is his own self too. And I'm my own self. I'm not gonna act like nobody else. I'm gonna be me, and that's it. There's nothing else to be. So watching him become the sexiest man, watching him be, suited up, watching him have such incredible, I think the largest success you can kind of have in the world, at least in acting, in film and television, is just awesome. It's just awesome. If I didn't know him at all, I'd be like, damn, this dude got a lot going on.
Yeah.
But knowing him and being able to see it all is just special. And then if you know him, you guys, I'm sure y'all met him. If not, he's down to earth, regular guy, just a regular guy with all that stuff in his treasure chest,
You would never know.
Yeah, you wouldn't really know. A genuinely humble, well-raised individual.
BMF, Pat. It's another good show. Executive produced by 50. Talk to us a little bit about what drew you to that role and just, what you knew about BMF going into the situation.
I knew about BMF going into the situation just over the years because it's notorious and
Well,
infamous.
we all know.
Yeah. So I didn't know in depth. I knew the names, I knew the activities. I didn't know a lot of the stories. I didn't know about Pat. You know, I didn't know a Pat character. But I'm from Chicago, near Detroit, and it's kind of a built-in rivalry we have. So, you know, we won't be checking for their gangsters like that. We got enough gangsters in Chicago of our own, you know?
Yeah.
So I never was drawn to go like in depth and learn more about BMF until I got this situation. Well, what made me want to do it, my brother's in it, number one.
Is this the first time you guys got to work together on a project?
It's not the first time.
Okay.
We worked together. It's the first time like this where we're opposing each other. We actually played brothers before on a TV series called Justified. Yeah, Justified. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, but so working with my brother, working with 50, who I'm friends with. At the time, I was looking to have some work to do with 50 because people talk to me like, well, how come you ain't do, nothing with 50 and Power and all? They want to see me just be gangster. Where it's just like, I just don't want to do that so much, But this opportunity I thought was a good opportunity to do something different with a gangster personality, After a while, you just be doing the same stuff, and I'm not interested in. I mean, it's true story, so it's going to be a different person, But if it's a fictional gangster story, I'm not so interested in it necessarily, I got like an email that just got gangster scripts in it. So
throw one to me. Let me fuck it up.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So but I love that world. I would rather still do that than to be playing like the good guy, so to speak, because it's definitely more fun to portray the bad guy. Definitely. It's just more fun. It's more fun to be the bad guy in real life. It's more fun to portray the bad guy in real life. 50, getting involved, I knew that, it would, it'd be cool to be around 50. 50's energy is a real building energy, at least with me, I have a good friendship with him. And Tasha Smith, who is a producer and director that also, I've known her for a long time too, so I knew all the people involved. And that's when I spoke to them, Russell Hornsby, who's plays his father on the show. I just knew all the people, so it was a no-brainer in a sense, yeah.
No, I like it. It's what the third episode just dropped. You mentioned something important, and I wanted to touch on it. You've been typecast, I don't mean this in a bad way, but you just played a lot of street legend gangster roles. Do you ever get tired of it, or is it hard for you to step out of that role and be seen in a different light? Earlier on in your career, now obviously you're proven, but was it hard to get out of that lane at all?
I don't know. I'm so in my own bubble that I just never really engaged with the idea of me so much. So I'm just now engaging with the idea of how I'm perceived, So I don't really watch the stuff I'm in. I don't really
That's interesting.
Listen to, so, my bubble is like, not a bubble, it's more like a force field, because I like anonymity. Here's the thing. You're famous. I'm famous. Or we're known out here, visibly known by our face alone. And that's just no anonymity. There's a negative to it. To me, some people like it because they want to be on the red carpets and shit like that. But I don't. I don't want to be on it, So it just made me a lot more reclusive than I probably would have been if I wasn't a famous or recognizable face. I don't even like saying it. I don't like saying it.
Don't feel right.
I'm self-conscious about that. When Mike died, I realized something. I'm here now and I'm able to be, typically, I don't even know if I could even do this stuff. I'm more nervous doing this than I am my job, because I'm just talking about me and I don't really talk about me. I just don't. I don't. But I realized Mike lived with like a lot of uplifted energy and spirit. This uplifted, like he could go to like Mike K. Williams I'm talking about. He could go to like a park in Brooklyn, Random Park. They got the music playing and just sort of dance with everybody. And it made me realize that I'm kind of like an ostrich in a sense where, you stick your head in the ground and you don't realize your body's out anyway, bro. You can't like you can't, your anonymity is something that is gone for real. It's like a death. So, I don't know. It just makes me a lot more reclusive. And I have nothing to hide. I just like the way it feels to be not famous. That's all. But you can't undo. You can't undo. You can't become you can't undo it. Especially me. I'm tattooed on people, and it's remarkable how much stuff is of me, to me. People send me tatted on them, like tons of it. It's not me, it's the character though. I understand it's the character. But it's still me.
But it's you.
I'm that face.
Yeah.
I'm literally that face. So, that gets to me, so I just ignore it. So I'm better off because of it. It makes me feel just like I felt when I was 18 and unfamous. Until somebody at the red light is saying something to me or I'm doing an interview, I don't really think about it. I try not to.
At this point in your career, anyone else you still want to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
I mean, it's a lot of people, I can't think of anyone off the top, that I would definitely just. I always want to work with a lot of different talent. I work with like somebody like Sean Penn is just amazing. I'm a Lawrence Fishburne. I work with Lawrence Fishburne in one capacity, but I would like to work with him in another way. Lorenz Tate, he's a friend of mine. I mean, these people are my friends, or Lorenz is. And so I would like to work with Lorenz and Makai again, see what we did come up with again. I like to work with Charles Stone again, see what we come up with, something different to show range, I can't think of too many more individuals. I mean, Jeffrey Wright, Don Cheadle. Yeah, I love all those guys. I love them. You know what I'm saying? They show you the spirit of like, they keep the high energy up. They make you want to be good and great at what you do. So I like them a lot. I want to work with those cats. So,
do you think it's possible to do a reboot of Above the Rim, a West Coast version of that, or is that the kind?
Is this your idea? Are you popping off on me? You popping off? You letting it bang 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 bang? Are you like shots fired in this motherfucker?
Every moment of the day is something going on, bro.
Yeah, I'm always thinking.
Do you think this? Yeah, man. It's all about how you do it, how it's done.
How it's done.
Yeah, how it's done. Definitely, because imagine like you get it's so easy to do. Like
a Kendrick plays Birdie.
Kendrick is dope.
As fuck.
Kendrick was dope on Power, actually.
He was.
Kendrick is a dope human being. Dope human being. If you can get Kendrick to do something, do it.
Be Birdie.
Yeah. And then, got Kendrick doing that. That'd be dope. And just craft it up, make it up dope. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
You should work on that.
That's your idea, Jay.
So what's it like a normal, we have our routines and you kind of test this a little bit as athletes, what a game day is like for us. For me, I would go to shoot around, I come home, smoke a joint, take a nap, shower, go to a game. What's a work day for you?
Days be so long, shooting schedules be, minimum of 12 hours. Ooh. So when COVID, it's extended to more like 13 and a half hours because you have to test every day and you have to wait for an hour of test. So like say if you got a 5 o'clock call, now you got like 5 a.m., now you got like 4 a.m., 3:30.
Add another hour.
Yeah, add another hour or so. So it ain't no life. It's not like a life, like it's just that you just do that, you just go home. I be wired. I pretty much juiced up on 4 hours. So I try to get in a life in 2 hours or whatever. But that shit don't work so well. Yeah.
It's a lot.
I go watch you motherfuckers and watch a few different things and try to catch up in life.
See what's going on in the
sports,
world.
So I watch mostly sports documentaries and stuff. So I go find out what's going on ESPN or some shit and go to sleep, man. That's really it.
What was your favorite role this fall?
That's hard. It's been a lot.
I don't know, man. That's a hard one too. It is hard to answer. I don't think I got a favorite one, but I think probably like the Jimi Hendrix thing was dope because it's just so off kilter. Even when I hear myself say it, it's like, damn, I can't believe I did that. Like, yeah. And then I play guitar left-handed. I learned a lot from Jimi Hendrix. So I met his father, met his sister, his brother. I mean, not his sister, his niece, his brother. Just to have anything to do with that part is really the most interesting thing I think about me because it makes sense for you to see me in Above the Rim, but it don't really make sense for you to see me as Jimi Hendrix. And then that process was dope. Like I said, I learned the guitar. I secluded myself and I got to rented this little house in Los Feliz and just at the bottom of this damn hill. And I just was in that motherfucker alone, just, zoning out, trying to figure out Jimi Hendrix without the drugs, because there's so much drug folklore about him. And then come learn the truth, he wasn't really no drug head like that, but at that era, he was a typical person, that's all. But being a rock and roll figure, then that was amplified, media-wise, it was sort of blown out. All the rockstars were blown out to be sort of like drug heads. And when I learned he wasn't just no incredible drug head, like they spread that information, false information, I really got into him a lot, So he really changed my life. I'm already a musical person, so he made me even more musical. And I'm lyrical. He makes me lyrical with a delivery and a role. So I'll see a role, and now at this level I'll try to be lyrical, like rather than just to say the lines. You can say the lines and mean it, and you still can sound good. But intonation, going up and down, range, voice, tone, just architecture of a role.
You taking these notes? You dropping gems right to you.
See, I'm listening.
I think it's stages of that. Like I don't think that's necessary. I'm having just fun doing it, but that's not necessary. You can just catch the feeling of the lines and deliver the line. It'll have the lyric in it because you could feel the lines.
But you also have a great control if you're able to do that within the line, though.
Right, precisely. So you want to be able to do that. Like, if there was a story about y'all that two cats had to go do a movie and act this out, right? Be y'all on the set and just be y'all right now. It's a way to be you and sound like you, and a way to sound like you that's very. You don't have to wing it. In other words, I can sound like you.
You can study us.
I can study you, and I can talk like you because you want me to try to imitate you, Matt? I don't want to do it. I can imitate you both. I would be off. But take a person like Godfrey, who I grew up with. Godfrey's from Chicago too. I've known Godfrey.
Super talented.
Childhood, right? So it's kind of what he's doing. He's able to catch the speed that you talk, because you talk fast. Do you know you talk fast, Matt?
Yeah.
You do? And you still don't slow down?
I try to slow it down. That's why I smoke so much. To try to slow down, it just don't work.
Oh, this is the slow.
I got to smoke more.
He's like, but you talk, and it's not just fast. You have distinct patterns to the way you speak. So when you talk, you might say like, so when you was doing this, then I can hear like, put the words behind that. And after a while, I'll be talking like you. But so you can, and same with you, you just first, I would just see what rhythmically you sounded like, because you have a cadence that, it's a drum that you go to, both of y'all. So find that, and then I know how y'all are as individuals, so I can understand beyond the technical part. So I can lay it back now, and not just be a generic version of Matt or a generic version of you, or a caricature of you. I could probably be a lot more genuine to you and the process and feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? So,
which character, obviously picking you said Jimmy, but picking one is hard. What character are you still recognized the most by, would you say?
It's probably
Ace.
It's probably Ace, or if it's not Ace, it's then Avon. But I would think it would probably be Ace only because of the tattoos and carpets and furniture and T-shirts and so much stuff, gym shoes, and
Really?
There's so much stuff on that. You would just be surprised.
Paid in full.
It has a whole universe that The Wire has, but it's different. It's just different.
Current NBA, what teams are you watching? Players you checking out?
Well, I'm watching everything now. So I'm watching all the early stuff that I can. Man, I'm a Melo fan. I'm talking about East Coast Melo, young Melo. He's pretty cold-blooded to me. He's like must see. I think John Moran is must see in terms of the young fellas. It's a lot of critical stuff going on in NBA. I mean, critical too, meaning it's stuff you can criticize and talk about. Not that it's urgent, because it's basketball. How urgent could it be? But it is critical in terms of Brooklyn, the Nets. So I wanted to see that team and what they mature to be. It looks like they won't have Kyrie, so it's going to be a different thing going on over there for the most part, at least for now. The Lakers lost every, I think, preseason game, so that don't feel good. I know that they're all veterans and all. You guys are probably like, yeah, we don't give a shit. They're going to be amazing. But from a fan standpoint, you're like, man, every game though? Every game? Because Kobe, Shaq, Karl Malone, and Gary Payton is a super duper team too. Older. Is that going to happen? So my head is like, is that going to happen? I don't think LeBron will let that happen because I just think that, I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious about the team now because history repeats itself too. If you believe that, then here we go again as far as Shaq, Karl Malone, Gary Payton, and the great. This is Kobe Bryant. This is put 60 on you, Kobe. And they didn't have no success. So, and we know it wasn't the talent that made the success not happen because Karl Malone, who can stop Karl Malone? I'm not even talking about Kobe Bryant. Who could stop Karl Malone? He was a monster. Great defense. Look at that team defensively. I don't know what's gonna happen with the Lakers. I am rooting for them. I'm living out here. I'm rooting for them. I'm a Bulls fan because I'm from Chicago. That's where my heart is. I love the way the Bulls look.
Yeah, they built a nice little team over there.
Zoe looks so good in the shot.
I was happy for him too.
And he playing like his bro. I think Zoe, he got he got everything that both his brothers have. He's the oldest. He got everything they have. But he's utility. He uses, I think, his head differently. If he click over a little Melo, a little Zoe.
More free.
Yeah,
playing like his little brother.
And he's doing it now.
Yeah,
he's playing like his little bro.
Just free.
Who got a license from Jordan to do whatever. Stop it already, bro. Stop it. Melo is amazing.
Hell yeah, I love seeing
the young boy didn't make the middle kid didn't make what's his name? Leangelo?
He signed with the G League.
He got the G League team.
Yeah. But he cold too though. He's cold. All these guys are the best people in the world.
It's the saying, man. When you growing up and everybody make it, everybody can't go. Everybody can't go, G. I don't think G gonna make it.
You don't think so?
I don't think Jello gonna make it.
Let's not put that energy out there, bro. Keep it low. Okay then, all right?
I think he got more. I think he got
sober
one,
up over here. It's okay. He got a chance.
I think he got one more good run. One more good run. If it don't happen after that,
he was getting he got 16 in the preseason. That's a lot.
I think you get to a certain point. I think he should make one more hard push in, and then after that, go because he can make a lot of money overseas.
That's my point.
I can see that. I can see that.
But I feel,
but that's still going in a sense.
Exhaust all options here first. So to me, I think he has one more good run. I think he was close to actually making, at least making the roster, but obviously he didn't. But
yeah, I've seen a lot of people average 20 in summer league. Don't get on the NBA court.
But why though? See, the politics don't be the
numbers. It's called the numbers game. I got caught up in the numbers game before. I'm pretty sure
you
got caught up in, huh?
What do you mean by that? Numbers
game. Put it like this. I got signed with the Spurs. I deserve to be playing, right? But you have Steve Smith, Steve Kerr, all these veterans all on the team.
What's wrong with Steve Smith?
No, I'm saying there's a numbers game. Like you got too many players on the roster that already deserve to play.
So where do you fit in? Right.
You sit on the injury list the whole year and wait your turn.
And how much money do they make?
And then once you sit on, just say you sit on the bench that whole year, you might not get an opportunity next year. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people get caught up in the numbers game. A lot of guys that belong in the NBA, that could be nice in the NBA.
Haven't got a chance.
Yeah, just never got the opportunity.
Damn, that's just...
A lot of brothers. That's just like saying a lot of brothers that I know in the pen that could have played in the league. I know at least 3 guys from my neighborhood that went to jail that could have played in the league. At least 3.
It's hard to get into the NBA or into professional things in life. Like, I don't know what profession is it easy to get into that's legal.
None.
I don't know. It's
not life changing.
Yeah, not life changing, and not where you can amass any kind of wealth.
Right.
I think you made a great point earlier, though, but because it's a professional in something, whether it be acting, rapping, singing, sports, we make it not look easy, but we make it look doable. So everyone thinks they can step in and be an actor, or I can play with them and realize you get on the court and you can't dribble, can't.
All they see is the glitz and I mean, when they see just what they see something.
The finished.
Yeah.
Not behind the scenes.
All they see is the shiny shit, and that's what people want to show for the most part. They show, listen, the NBA, literally the fashion show before the goddamn game. Excuse my French. It's a fashion show. And it's great for the players because now that branding is amazing in the NBA. If I could choose to be any kind of athlete, of course it would be NBA, but I think if football players be feeling that way, like most of them feel that way because look how it's set up. The NBA is good to the athlete as far as that goes. I mean, it's a limit to good. Sports ownership thing, football, baseball, basketball. But the NBA is pretty damn awesome in terms of the ability to brand out. Look, when the bubble happened, lesser known players emerged. That's dope because the big boys already. That's how dope it was. Come on, man. And then the guy at 12th on the bench got an M. Listen, man.
Couple M's.
Where that's at, right? It's more. They got more than Dr. J. The last player on the bench got more than Dr. J.
Crazy. Players
we never heard of made more than the greats. Some of the greats. Even I remember when I heard they said, what they said? They said Magic. I remember it was announced that Magic Johnson was getting $1 million.
A 20-year, $20 million deal or something like that.
Yeah, he getting $1 million a year. Whoa! Man. Everybody was like. 5 years later, Shaq got a 120 M's. Then it was like, whoa, that was the game. Him and Kevin Garnett. That's when it became so much about y'all's money. Because before that, who cared? Like, nobody who cared about y'all. Now there's care about it. That's different than interest. They care about y'all money. Not fair, really. But that's something y'all have to deal with because it's a lot of money. And this is a capitalist country, and so you guys are small businesses. Businesses don't make $1 million a year. Your favorite business didn't make $1 million.
Just like you touched on, you said how we make it normal. On another note, like with trauma in our neighborhoods, we deal with so much that we make that look normal too.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's why people don't make a big deal out of it. Like, y'all been dealing with it so long and y'all don't make it look like a big deal. Why y'all complain so much? No, because we deal with it so much and we see it every day. It's normal. The trauma that we go through every day. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing.
It is. We have to normalize it to bear it. Like,
to bear it, exactly. Yeah, you
can't like be arrested by the traumatic thing. That's when we see the people arrested by trauma. They show trauma.
Right.
They show damage.
Right.
Most people who can cope just don't want to show damage. So they can at least manage to not be looking damaged around people. So we deal with trauma, but we haven't, as a Black culture goes, there's a lot of work to be done and it's complicated.
Very.
So we don't have an answer or any answers. So it's difficult. The thing is to make money. One thing is to make money. So, and it's easier said than done when it's millionaires sitting on microphones and people watching us, and that's all they could, because they count the money now.
Right.
They count the money now, where even with me, they count y'all's money, so, and they care. It's part of their fantasy to at least be vicarious through the athletes, So, because you can't just become a basketball player. You can become an actor. And, you might not end up Wood or might not end up Idris or Denzel Washington or whoever. But you can sort of get in there and do extra work and get a couple speaking roles. And not you. I mean, when I say you, I'm talking in general. But you can't just become a basketball player.
A lot of things got to go in your favor.
Yeah, you need a lot
of things.
Yeah, a lot, especially nowadays. Like, I don't know how they make it without being giants. So I don't understand how you even make it without being a giant.
Following.
The little boy's gone, too.
So you can have a big following now.
That's true. See what I'm saying? That's some other shit,
These
though.
days.
That's some other stuff, though.
Yeah.
That's having a viral presence.
Yeah.
And having, like...
Some of these kids are bigger than the
That's
programs they go
something else,
to.
though. That's not the same.
Prime you. Do you see someone that reminds you of your game in the league?
In the league?
I want to hear this. I sure want to hear this because you showed play like MJ, your whole game, your dunks.
Well, I modeled after MJ.
Yeah, all your dunks in the bottom rim. That's all MJ.
That's MJ. Yeah. That's all MJ. I mean, I can't say prime me is MJ, though. I'm trying to think of something.
That let you know I was watching you on a different note. I wasn't just watching the movie. I was watching your game.
And that's Rutgers. Those are real rims. Everybody says, those real rims, they real rims. But on the west side, let's see who we had. I'm going to get back to that. I remember at the park, one time I played against another pro. He ended up a pro, but it was Nick Anderson. And the young Nick Anderson, like I thought I was, yeah. But I still had the ego. But the young Nick Anderson people don't really realize until everybody thinks that they can go and play y'all and play you guys. And it's another story, man. If you have an ego, it's ego crushing to see somebody so much better than you. Even though at that point I wasn't, I was like, I feel like I could get there, you know what I mean, as a basketball player. But in the league now, I mean, you say now, right? Now? Or in general?
Just period.
I mean, I model myself after Michael Jordan just in terms of just, in a lot of ways, I want to be just the best. So that's like Mike. So I just want to be the best. So I'm like Michael Jordan in basketball sense. I play like Mike. I just want to be like Mike because we grew up in Chicago. You seen all the home games. I saw the maturation of Michael Jordan.
WGN.
Yeah, WGN. You seen all the. I'm seeing all the local, all the games. So man. Also, I just love AI because what I love about Allen Iverson is everything. I do. I love everything about Allen Iverson.
You guys already got a chance to spend some time together?
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, let me tell you Allen Iverson's story. One day, I'm in New York. This is a quick story. Quick.
No, you good. Tell the sister. Come on, man.
Okay, I'm in New York, right? I forgot what I'm working. I'm working on something. But I'm chilling. I'm in New York City, too. So I'm in Manhattan, proper Manhattan. I'm in a hotel. One of my homies, we're about to get on the block, right? So we walking down the street. And it's New York, so we walking. You know what I'm saying? So I see this little area, they got this caution tape up. They got the men on one side of the street. It's kind of thugged out too. They got the men on one side of the street and the women on the other side as though something had happened, right? This is a while ago too. AI was in the league. This is AI being in the league. So this is a long time ago. So I see the little security dude inside the club, and it's caution tape all in the club and shit. We walking by. I see the flyer, I pick it up. It's supposed to be an Allen Iverson party, right? So I'm like, it's Allen Iverson party, but is it really? Or they throwing a mug name on some shit, pulling in the crowd, and you know what I'm saying? And get the money, now they clear the club out. A fight happened, they clear the club out. No Allen Iverson, who cares? We got all these people. So I see the security dude, I'm trying to peep game. I go ask him, what's the game though, bro? He know who I am, you know what I'm saying? He recognizes. So what's the game though? Is this fake shit? Because, I'm gonna keep it pushing, but is this fake? And it's police in there and everything, right? So he said, nah, this was really Allen Iverson, man, this and that. So, okay, cool. I leave, me and the homie leave. We walking down the street. When we get to the corner, I forget, we like on 23rd or something. When we get to the corner, the stretched white Jag, right? It's AI. He dipped the window, because I had met him before. At a Reebok thing that I did. I did this Reebok campaign with photo shoots and stuff. So I met him briefly before. So, AI, he dipped the window down, boom, boom, wood, this and that. Yo, I jump in the whip with him, right? So now we chilling, we driving, boom, we kick back. So I tell him as soon as I get in there, I was like, yo, man, they had caution tape in that motherfucker. That shit dead over there. Like, we drove by, we seen the crowd all like it was, and we just kept it pushing, right? And so we ended up driving around the city of New York for like a while, just talking, chopping it up, right? And just having a good time. We put it to you like that, having a good time. So he take me back to the crib. I go back to the hotel. Now it's probably like 2 in the morning. You know, it might be 2:33 in the morning. I go in the crib. I mean, in the towel. Boom. I watch a little till I fall asleep. I wake up. He on TV now, right? They playing Jason Kidd. He playing the Nets. I think it was because he was only in New York chilling, not playing the Knicks, but playing the Nets.
Mhm.
So he over the water now playing the Nets. So it's the AI with the dark circles and the hair ain't done, right? So I know that AI now. When you see and the hair ain't done, right? He might have had a good time.
A long night.
He might have had a good time the night before, right? So
He gonna have a good time.
but he put 43 and
Oh,
12
yeah,
on him, yo.
He's still gonna put numbers up.
He had 43 and 12. That's my AI story. He had 43 and 12.
If he don't go out and have a good time, he might not play good.
That's
he got
hilarious.
his routine has to be the same. He just different,
What
bro.
made him
Man,
great.
super different, bro.
Different, bro. I
Super
love him to
different.
death, bro.
Me too. I ran into AI when I was in Philly too, shooting Creed 1, I think. So yeah, I ran into him at the hotel. He liked to hit the casino sometime and all that type of shit.
Mhm.
You wanna go to the casino? But I ain't do it, but yeah. I ain't do it.
All right, quick hitters. First thing to come to mind.
Quick hitters.
Top 5 movies, in your opinion, all time.
Top 5 movies all
Your
time.
top 5.
Well, I say one of them is Hoop Dreams. Even though it's a
Mm,
documentary, I would put Hoop Dreams on there. That's my community too. If you've seen Hoop Dreams, then
Yes.
I went to that high school, Arthur Agee's neighborhood. That's the
Arthur
neighborhood I grew
Agee.
up in. Same thing. But Hoop Dreams is just amazing. There's nothing like it, so I really love that film. I like a lot of older stuff. So The Sting, which is a Robert Redford and Paul Newman film. It's like a heist sort of movie. It's called The Sting. It's a classic. Paper Moon, which is another classic film. And then I like some of the thrillers that are out now, like these Korean thrillers are dope. There's one called The Wailing. It's one of my favorite films already. And I'm pretty hard on the films, man. I don't even like watching most of them. I get discouraged looking at a lot of stuff and make me feel like I'm wasting my time. So I don't have a long list of favorites in acting and stuff like that. But
Favorite line you ever said in the movie that you can remember acting? What's your favorite line? I would bury the both of you motherfuckers.
I take that. I take it. I would have to think back. I take that. I'm glad you saved me. Saved me. I take that. Yeah, I buried both of you motherfuckers.
Hey, real quick story. I just want to ask because I think you're around the same time at least. Benji Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
He a little bit older than you?
A little bit older than me, yeah.
What do you remember about him?
Everything. In fact, the document, the 30 for 30 is me. I narrated his 30 for 30 on him.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Cootie and Chike, who directed it, also
crazy.
directed the upcoming Kanye doc for Netflix, which is phenomenal. And it's kind of like Hoop Dreams in the sense that because Cootie grew up with Kanye. So he's known him since prior to him even being signed. And so it chronicles him all the way from not signed to like a billionaire.
Dope.
In real time. So it's not just a bunch of interviews. It's gonna be dope. Dope. Shout out Cootie Chike. But what was the question?
I forgot you narrated that. But just Benji Wilson and what kind of play he was.
Yeah, that struck the city like it was a thunderclap on the city, like an earthquake on the city when he died. You know, because he was all around good kid. I know the person who actually killed him now. Okay, he's gotten out. I know him because of the documentary and IG and things like that. And decent person, you know, big mistake, very big mistake. He was carrying a gun. He was young. And, you know, back then, you know, you could bump into a dude and catch one. You know what I'm saying? And, or you can get killed over some kicks or a starter jacket, or that's just that era in time. You know, you might have on something nice. The person will actually kill you for something nice, even a garment. So that's what the streets was like in Chicago. I think the guy who ended up shooting and killing them got bullied. And I think that's what the story was telling us. So he was carrying a gun sometimes. It was a .22. When he clapped Ben, they got into it outside of a store. Literally bumped into him. And Ben, you know, like, man, whatever, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And dude, little man, just let it rip. But that's not how he died. He died because he was left on the gurney in the hospital. So what happened is trauma units weren't existing at the time. So the bigger thing taken away from his death is the advent of trauma units in Chicago. There weren't any. He died because he was neglected. He didn't die from the gunshot wound. He bled to death
Bled out.
from the neglect of care.
Damn.
They took him to a local clinic-like thing, and he bled to death or died as a consequence of negligence. So it's not what people think.
Right.
Okay. Damn. So, but he was amazing. It's funny. I mean, you got those stories too, It's the gift and the curse story at its greatest. Like, it's a lot of those type of stories. What was the one cat, Reggie, who was Boston and he died?
Reggie Lewis.
Reggie Lewis, that's him, Reginald Lewis.
Yeah, Reggie.
But there's more
he
than
had
one.
a heart thing, but Lynn Bias was the one with
Lynn
the coat.
Bias,
Yeah.
Lynn Bias. Yeah, that's like Hank Gathers.
Yeah.
There's always a nominated person in that way. That way. Did you guys ever hear? Probably not. But George Robinson was a. You guys know 5 Star? Of course, y'all know 5 Star.
Mm-hmm.
So early on in 5 Star, now he has a plaque that's dedicated to him. I think it still may exist. The George Robinson Award. So he was a kid that went to school with me, and in grade school he died. Not in grade school. He died as a high schooler who would have been bound for the pros. He basically died of pneumonia. He just died of pneumonia. He died of a health condition related to, like I saw him the day before he died. He died of odd circumstance. But that stuff be in the system for athletes. Like somebody, not everybody gonna come back from the trip. You know what I'm saying? We are the lucky ones or the blessed ones for sure.
Absolutely. 5 dinner guests, dead or alive?
Damn, these are tough questions. I would say dinner guests. I'm bad at this type of stuff, Matt. 5 dinner guests? Man. I'm gonna say Jay-Z. Because I want to chop it up with Jay-Z, even though I probably could talk to Jay-Z anyway, but I would love to just chop it up with him, pick his brain on peculiar things that I have questions for. I'm like, it's gonna sound like a hip hop list, really, because it's like I would like to chop it up with like Big Pun. I'm a Big Pun fan. I definitely want the historical figures, and so many come to mind that it's difficult to narrow it down. Maybe the real actual Jimi Hendrix. That's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Good. I'm an LL Cool J fan. Like I'm inspired by LL Cool J also as a young person. So yeah, I love LL Cool J in terms of. The young LL was very inspirational, and LL in general. But when I was young and watching young LL, it was very inspirational. Toss up, but I guess I'll say Bob Marley. But I was tossing up Richard Pryor, Bob Marley. I want to sit down with these cats and just talk it. But yeah.
Would you ever want to expand your career outside of acting? Start directing?
Definitely. I'm already doing that. Yeah. Produce some things you may have seen. Actually, Next Day Air is one of them.
Yep.
But
classic.
Definitely directing. Talk to 50 about directing some of the episodics of Power. So that may happen. And even outside of that, just to do other things in general, just to put a magnifying lens on. Like I was telling y'all about going and doing the. I'm gonna make that a series to watch, at least a 6-part thing in terms of going to the prisons, engaging with the inmate theater, where again the lowest recidivism rate is among the people who involve themselves with theater in prison, which is amazing if you really think about it. So, yeah, I'm going with San Quentin. Likely to start there, and Yeah, shoot that out as like a little episodic.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
U+4 in the blacktop. Anybody?
Oh man, +4. All right. Jeez. Man, who do I like to play with? That's really what that's about. You know, I'm gonna say me. I'm just gonna be the shooting guard, but I can miss everything because I'm gonna make the team straight so I can miss everything. But we got Jason Kidd, because I just want to see how he plays, Jason Kidd. A person with Jason Kidd, I think it'd be a different experience playing on the court with Jason Kidd. I know I can get some open layups because he'd be great. I know I'm gonna get a couple buckets.
You gotta run.
But he's the one I'm gonna be a 2, which means I can miss though. I can miss. So it's gonna be an odd little group, but that's a motley crew. Cause I kind of would like Rasheed Wallace on my squad.
Why not?
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I might need somebody on the bench because he might get kicked out the game.
Oh, he gonna get a tech.
He gonna get teched out. But I like Rasheed Wallace to be on my squad. He can hit the outside jumper, tough on the inside. I can get anybody on my team. Oh man,
2 more spots.
J Kidd.
I made myself the 2. I'm gonna have to take myself off this team.
You can coach.
I gotta fire myself off this one.
Nah,
you can coach.
I'm coaching. I'm coaching. I got a hoop. All right,
you got a hoop. You got a hoop.
Dang,
it's U+4.
I should have probably made Mike the 2, and I could have been the 1 because all I gotta do is get a rock up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it. So I'll be the 1. Got Mike at the 2. I still got Rasheed. I can't do Jason Kidd like that. I'm gonna go back. I got Mike. Mike can just be Mike. So it's me, Mike, Jason, Rasheed, and Shaq.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I know I'm gonna get some buckets. Everybody, we can actually win some games without me participating. All I gotta do is save my energy for defense.
And we already gonna know what's gonna happen if y'all don't win.
Well, playing with
somebody, get the bag.
Oh yeah. but playing with somebody like Jason Kidd or Rondo or like that type of guard,
CP3.
CP3, I know I'm gonna get a bucket.
Just run the lane.
You know, I know I can listen to that. I know Rondo's like he's those dudes tough, man.
Genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, they basketball geniuses, extreme.
Yeah.
This last question, just remember, before I ask you this question, you have to help me with your answer. Okay? You have to help us with your
I
answer.
can help you with answer.
Who do you want to see on All the Smoke?
Oh, snap. Okay, I'm right there on All the Smoke.
Who do you want to see on the show,
genuinely
bro?
help you with. Mike been on here, Mike Epps.
Oh, that's a good call.
Yeah, get Mike Epps on the show.
That's
Mike,
the homie too.
Call out Mike Epps.
Yeah, Mike Epps. We can make that happen
That's
too.
my
That's the
bro.
homie.
Yeah.
Mike Epps, man,
That's
make it
my
happen.
homie.
See?
Well, Wood, we appreciate you, man. Thank
Man,
you
all
for
the
your
smoke is
time.
all
It's
the
an honor.
love. All the
Legend,
love,
man. I
thank you.
appreciate you, bro.
For
For sure.
Appreciate it all day.
Long overdue.
Above
Thank
the World,
y'all
West
very
Coast.
much.
Wood Harris
West
is going to start
Coast,
working on
West
that.
side.
We in here.
Yep.
That's a wrap, man. All the smoke. Wood Harris. Thank you, Jack.
Peace.
Good little run.
My boy, good job.
You can catch us on Showtime Basketball, YouTube, and the iHeart platform, Black Effects. See y'all later.
Peace.
The world's #1 pound-for-pound fighter, Canelo Alvarez, is planning to make boxing history.
Canelo rocking the head.
But undefeated champ Caleb Plant stands in his way. Ready to shock the world in a battle that's become personal. Only one can be undisputed champion. Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant, Saturday, live on pay-per-view.